I'm always alone. At my workplace, my colleagues have their own cliques, always chit-chatting with each other every now and then, going out to eat lunch together, hanging out outside of working hours to play badminton, or go for a short overseas trip. Meanwhile, I would always do my own work quietly, talking to my colleagues only to discuss about work, buying lunch back to the office to eat alone, and going back home immediately on the dot, not a single minute late when work ends. I did all this by choice, and I couldn't be happier. However, I wasn't like that in the beginning. Back when I was in high school, I would always experience this strong sense of FOMO, always wanting to be included in everything and uneasy when I'm not. When my friends were talking about organizing a barbecue, I would panic and start overthinking. What if they don't invite me? What if they forgot about me? What should I say if indeed I wasn't invited and someone else asked me if I was? I wasn't thinking about the activity or the opportunity to bond with my friends. That wasn't even on the top of my priority list. All I cared about was whether I was invited or not. I want to be included. I want to be part of the normal people doing normal things. Obviously, that's a very self-centered and naive thinking, but that was me for the bulk of my youth. There was this one time I was invited to hang out with my classmates during the weekends. I had plans to work on myself, plans to read a book, work out, practice the guitar, but I felt that if I were to reject them this one time, I would risk not getting invited by them the next time, losing all my friends and becoming alone. And so I joined them, neglecting my own wants. Some outings with friends were genuinely fun with great memories created out of it. These are mostly with friends that I was genuinely close and feel connected with. Other times, I kept asking myself, what am I even doing there? My friends were talking about things that I could not relate to, topics that I have no interest in. Well, I know that's because I was simply hanging out with whoever simply because I don't want to feel left out. I was expecting to see mountains and greeneries while driving around the city. Fast forward many years later, those friends that I hung out with were nowhere to be seen. All of us had moved on with our lives. Those times that I spent worrying about missing out or hanging out with people that I don't really care about could have been used on areas that meant more to me, be it my hobbies or things that I value way more. And these are things that will definitely stick with me, even till today, because the skills you have learned will never truly be lost, but simply be rusty. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy my time with my friends back then. I do, and I hold those memories close to my heart. But what I should have done was spend more quality time with people that truly matters to me, and for the other times, to have that courage to spend time on things that matter to me, more than just wasting my time away at somewhere I don't even want to be, simply because I don't want to be left out. Those times that I spent on myself, especially when I was young, are important and foundational in who I will become in many years to come. And that investment will never disappear or be gone just like your old friends. Who knows? Maybe I could have discovered a hidden passion of mine back then, worked on it till now, and make it out to something big. Who knows? And such opportunities wouldn't have been possible if we keep spending the time worrying about being alone and not wanting to be alone. Going back to the present, I spend my working life mostly alone. I don't have a so-called work clique, people that I am close to, hang out with, or go out for lunch with. I embrace being alone. I deliberately created this environment for myself. When my colleagues invited me out for lunch, I don't feel that fear of missing out, and I simply rejected them. Now, I fully understand the power of having lunch with colleagues to build not just personal relationships with, but working relations. In fact, I do join them every now and then, solely with that purpose. However, for the vast majority of the time, I spend it by myself, working on the things that I personally value during that short break, clocking in a short workout set at a nearby fitness corner, reading a book, working on my YouTube channel, or simply just to spend time alone because I'm on the end of the introvert spectrum. I value this balance of work progression and personal progression, and it wouldn't have been possible if I kept worrying about being left out. Such a mindset requires courage, and I understand that. To some, if you are like me, valuing your own time to work on your personal goals while also valuing your career, it can be difficult to make that sacrifice, because what if your worst nightmare of being left out came true? But you have to ask yourself, at the end of the day, does that really matter? If you can accept that it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, and you then start asking the question, what if I don't join them for, let's say, lunch, and my work progression gets halted? Well then, I have something to share. I am only a few months into my new job after leaving my old one. Recently, a higher managerial position opened up, and out of all the senior employees in that department, I was the one chosen to take up that role instead. I'm by no means bragging, and I understand fully that not all companies are like that, but it shows me that some companies do genuinely value your potential and work ethics, and not just be subjected to bootlicking simply because you have good relationships with your bosses. I was lucky to be in that position, and I'm thankful for it. I'm able to get both the career progression that I want and also the time to work on my own personal goals. But let's say that wasn't the case, and indeed I was subjected to the worst kind of culture and I'm not able to get the balance I want. It's simple. I can just move on to another company while getting that pay raise from job hopping. The solution is that simple. There's a few takeaways that I hope you were able to catch, but the main gist of it is to have the courage to pursue what truly matters to you and not be held back by self-inflicted societal judgment of being alone. You're smart. You don't need me to list down the benefits of being alone one by one. You know it, you want it, and oftentimes you do, but you're just afraid to admit it. Some people absolutely hate to eat alone or be found eating alone in public, but for me, I embrace it. I love it. I'd rather spend that time reading a book than to spend my short lunch break talking to someone that I don't really care about. Apart from your loved ones, there's only one person that you should care about the most. It's you.